So, which other guy? Noisier than I expected. Hi, I am a perfectionist, which hasn't been a problem until very recently. Because the older I get, the more that I want everything to be so perfect that I just don't do it. Because it's easier. Which is childish. But because I'm an adult, for some reason it makes sense in my brain. So, let's talk about that. I have had this thing for many years where I thought I could only do one thing with my life, where I just picked something and I was like, this is it. This is all I want to do for the rest of my life, even if it wasn't really that. Or I would try something, be bad at it on the first try, hate it, never do it again because I didn't want to feel like I had failed. Anybody else experience this? This all or nothing mentality has kind of haunted me for the majority of my 23 years on this earth, and it's gotten in the way of so many good things. If I had chosen to stick with something because I liked it, not because I was good at it, who knows what would have changed. Not saying that I don't like what I do now. What I do now is I majored in musical theater, and I perform, and I teach, and don't make a whole lot of money, but it's okay. I'm looking for other avenues and ways to do that. And I've done that since I was 8 years old. In case you weren't following along, I'm 23, so that's math. That's 15 years? Yeah, I've been doing this for 15 years. That's weird when I think about it. But 15 years, I've dedicated my life to one thing almost exclusively, and I didn't really allow myself the time or the means to pursue other things that I was interested in. So now I'm having to rediscover all the things that I was interested in and discover new things that I am interested in and give myself permission. Giving yourself permission is one of the most important things that you can do to recover from perfectionism. You have to almost think of yourself like a little child, or like your brain is a little child. And if a little kid is interested in something, or they say that they want to try something, usually you're going to say, all right, yeah, let's give it a try. You might not be super excited about whatever it is that they're going to try, but because they're interested in it, you want them to feel like they have the power and the agency to do that thing if they want. And if they don't like it, that's fine, they can try something else. The other thing that I think is going to be vitally important to people like me out there who are trying to get over perfectionism is rewarding yourself for hard work or practice rather than success. So because our society treats success and failure as such a binary system and gives us almost no in-between, I'm going to talk a lot about in-between and middle ground, get ready, because it's haunted me for my whole life, now it's going to haunt you. But if we don't allow ourselves that middle ground, then there's this enormous gap between success and failure, and that's where most of us hang out, like 90% of the time. Success and failure are two extreme ends of a spectrum of existence where we go to from time to time. We don't walk out the door every day and cure cancer. If we did that every day, that would be, it would feel monotonous. We want to kind of live in this in-between and get used to that monotonousness. That's a word. And accept that success and failure, as society sees them, are kind of not your average everyday experiences. And speaking of average everyday experiences, we're going to romanticize those. So when I say romanticize, I don't mean like create this imaginary world for yourself that you've kept around since you were a child to make reality slightly more bearable. I mean that you take the things that you do every day and you emphasize the small parts of them. It doesn't have to be, that girl morning routines where it's like they drink a perfect matcha and they're reading philosophy at 7 o'clock in the morning, which sounds like a lot. What you want to do is appreciate the small things that you incorporate into your life. So like, I don't know, you make yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee in the morning. It's not anything exciting, but it's awesome that you have that time to create this thing for yourself that's going to nurture you and give you energy. The intention behind things that you're doing rather than doing them for some kind of result. You know what I mean? Like, you can appreciate the result of something without doing it for that reason. And that's a perfect segue into our next item, which is doing things without reward or purpose. So, when we do things generally, especially in the United States, we expect there to be some kind of measurable outcome or productive outcome or some kind of output in general. That's not how we're supposed to live. If we're constantly doing this and giving and giving and giving, by the end of the day we're going to be like a deflated balloon that has no emotional capacity for anything, or mental capacity, or any kind of capacity, because we're going to fully empty out all of our reserves. I absolutely used to be a person that would do things for some kind of external validation, whatever that might be, or for some, output that I thought was, serviceable. But the older I get, the more that I enjoy just letting myself exist and do the things that I like to do for no other reason than that I like to do them. What a shocker, right? Doing something because you actually like to do it and not expecting some kind of result. I'm not saying that you should exclusively do things without any result, because then you'll just be, a vegetable sitting around not particularly making any impact that you'd like to make. If you want to make an impact, the best thing that you can do, especially as a perfectionist, is realize that doing something not perfectly is so much better than not doing anything at all. I'm terrible about this, personally. I won't let myself do something unless I feel like it's going to come out the way that I want it to, or the way that I think it should. Even though that is probably the worst mentality I could possibly take towards accomplishing some kind of goal, because we don't want to accomplish goals in exactly the way that we imagined them, because that would be almost impossible. But you can accomplish goals in a way that you didn't envision if you let yourself do them. If I let myself do them. Self. So, just sit down and do something. You don't have to tell anybody about it. I'm really bad about, I'll tell someone an idea, or I'll tell all these people about something that I'm thinking about, and then their ideas will either shoot me down or make me feel like it's a completely insurmountable problem, or I just let it go because I got it out of my brain and now it's in the ether. So, just sitting down and doing something is the first step to breaking out of this cycle, which is why I'm doing this right now. I was like, oh, I need to find the ring light that I had, or, you know, grab a nice tripod. I have a tripod, isn't that? My camera's not even screwed in. You can't see it, but you're teetering on the edge of like a precarious precipice of a tripod right now. But none of that matters. None of that matters. I have to keep telling myself that. Because I'm sitting here talking to a camera, telling you these things, because I know that I have to start somewhere. And we all have to start somewhere. Whatever that first step is, just do it. You know, just do it. The most important thing that you can do for yourself, if you're also a recovering perfectionist or just a human being, is to just let yourself do the things that you feel compelled to do. I mean, obviously, we want to like keep that to things that are for you, or like healthy and beneficial for you and the world at large. But if you don't let yourself pursue those interests, or record that video in your room while your cat's grooming themselves in the corner, lazy freeloader, or, you know, go take a dance class, or whatever it is that you're telling yourself that you can't do, screw that. Go do it, and then say, hey, guess what, brain? I did that, and I'm going to keep doing it until I can get better, and you'll shut up and stop telling me that I can't, because I'm doing it. So, I think that's about it. Just need to get that off my chest, I guess. So if I missed anything in this video, tips, tricks, tools, comment down below. Let me know what you're doing on your journey to recovering from perfectionist cycles. I know I'm going to start trying to sew my own clothes. I'm going to start working out more. I'm going to hopefully create some new things and try new creative avenues for myself. Let me know what kind of stuff like that you're going to be doing. And if you liked this video, let me know. Give it a little thumbs up. And if you want to see more stuff along this line of a 23-year-old woman having existential dread about all the things she hasn't done in her life, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and we'll see you around.